And we are back. It's been a minute. Life's gotten in the way. We've been busy. Jesse's been busy. I've been fat and busy. So, in other words, we've been busy, but now we're not busy. So, welcome back to another fun filled episode of Pop Goes the Zebra. Jeremy the ref, Jesse the ref, and Jesse's been the ref lately. So, we're just going to dive right into it. Jesse, how was Mania Week?
Busy.
No shit.
Yeah. It was the Charlie Foxtrot. I flew in Wednesday, so I was able to have like a day of like not being stressed out, which was really, really nice. And then dove right into it on Thursday with the shows. And I mean, we hit the ground running and we did not let up until Saturday into Sunday, and then even Sunday I picked up an extra booking just for shits and giggles, which was fun. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Got to see lots of good brothers and good sisters. A couple people that we've had on asking how you were doing.
Aww.
Certain person said he could not wait to come back on for our fun little episode. So that'll
I think I got you there.
Yeah, definitely. We actually had about a 10-minute chat about just goofy shit, and it was great. So I was like, oh man, can't wait for that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the next week or two. Anything fun and exciting happening while you were down there? Anything good?
It was kind of one of those things where it wasn't just like me being a part of the show. It was just being in the environment and watching the locker room, which normally is like scattered about doing their own stuff. But I mean, there was the monitors where they have the production set up right beside Gorilla. It was sold out, sir. People were constantly watching, and man, hearing just the crew's reactions to stuff going on top of the crowd was incredible. And
the curtain, huh?
Brother. And my first show was spring break, so I didn't actually go out and ref until spring break. I made a cameo on Bloodsport. I ran out there in my shorts and my polo, but yeah, I got to work on spring break, and I did the first match that I did was Blake Christian and AR Fox, and I really want to go back and watch that match. I remember it being good, and I remember the fans thinking it was pretty damn good. So I would love to go back and see that. And then I ended up working the scramble match, as is tradition. That's kind of the whole. No, it's a scramble match, put Jesse in it. So I mean, there was that. Spring break part 2, we had the clusterfuck, which was exactly what it was, and that's the one thing that I didn't like was us going on as late as we did, because we were tired, the crowd was tired, and you could tell they wanted to give their energy to it, but towards the end of that we were all gassed. And going into Saturday, started off hot with Effie's Big Gay Brunch.
How were the
probably
waffles?
There was no waffles.
God damn it, Effie! Get your shit together.
So they did something with the one food truck that was there, and then they did something with like bottomless mimosas. So I think that's kind of a fair trade-off for some
Okay,
people.
all right. I withdraw my anger. I am always down for bottomless mimosas.
You and shiny shoes, man. I don't.
It's come on, as good as I. It's a military thing. If there's alcohol, we're there. We're there, better.
Yeah,
we're there.
Yeah, this is true, but man, that boy loves him some mimosas, though. It is hilarious.
Must be a crayon eater thing.
Huh?
It must be a crayon eater thing. Shout out to the Marines. Lord love them. Someone's got to.
Somebody's got to. I guess we're about to say the same thing. Yeah. Oh, it was great, man. and it was cool just getting to sit in the back when I wasn't doing anything like mission critical and just bullshitting with everybody and uh, catching up, because this is one of the few times of the year where we're all in the same place, and it's great just to sit and talk to people. Of course, we didn't get to see some of our elder zebras because they were very very busy elsewhere with the actual WrestleMania festivities, but you know,
I told him that at the end of night one that my night was ruined because he did not receive a stunner. There's heat, brother.
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 Yeah, no, I think it was a good weekend for everybody. I think it was a good weekend for pro wrestling as a whole. Because I know last year with Mania being half capacity wasn't all that spectacular, and the year before was in the lockdown. So this was the first full blown Mania, and I think I haven't watched any of it, but the reception that I've heard from everybody is that it's worth a watch.
For me, I gotta go with Becky and Bianca.
Really? All right.
I think that's the match I'm gonna roll with for match of the weekend.
A lot of people have said it's in terms of quality, that's one of the ones in terms of entertainment. And I kind of use my roommate as a measuring stick because he does not watch modern wrestling. He does not give two shits about the current product. And he said he was so entertained and he laughed his ass off with Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. He said that it was so much better than it had any right to be, and it was everything that it should have been. And it's, I've yet to go back. The only match that I actually saw was the Kevin Owens Steve Austin match, and that's because Shane Mercer had his phone up, and we were all gathered around the phone watching it. So
here was my take on that, and right off the bat, before anybody thinks I'm shitting on it, I'm not shitting on it. I loved it. I was 12 years old again, and I was ready to whoop somebody's ass because Stone Cold said so. But I described that and how I felt watching it to: you're driving down a road in your car, it's late, and you're just cruising, and you turn the radio on, and you're listening to the radio, and all of a sudden this song comes on, and you know the song by heart, backwards, forwards, up, down, and sideways. You could play it with your opposite hand if you had to. You know the song like your own shadow. But the signal on the radio isn't quite strong. It's kind of in and out. It's kind of fuzzy, and then there's spots where it's really, really, really crystal clear, but overall it's not the CD that you grew up with. But it's still Stairway to Heaven. It's still Freebird. It's still We Are the Champions. It is still insert name of iconic song here. It's just the radio signal maybe wasn't what it was. It wasn't CD quality because it's the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what that means is it's been 20 years. So I was impressed at what he did. I was impressed by how much he did. And I think I put it out there that I knew that this was serious when he walked out and he was wearing both knee braces. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're watching here, but it's about to be good because he's got both braces.
Yeah. The only thing I hated is that I missed the entrance. By the time I got outside, I think I just finished the match, and I went outside to cool down, and I heard the music, and I was like, ah, shit, somebody's watching it. And I got to see the segment where they led up to the match starting, and then I was like, all right, here we go. This is the one thing I wanted to watch. And I'm with you on that. I thought this was going to be a quick 5-minute blase blah. No, they went like 17 minutes, and Steve taking those bumps, man. I was like,
I couldn't believe he took the suplex on the pavement. I could not believe he took that. I literally gasped.
We all did. We all went, holy fuck.
He didn't have to do that.
He's serious. He was serious about putting on something that people would remember. And honestly, like, that's the spots that I remember was him taking that bump. I'm like, Jesus.
We're
And
always
then of course, like,
we're gonna remember that, and we're always gonna remember the stunner.
yeah. God bless Vince.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Hats off to the crazy psychopathic 70 whatever year old man for going out there and getting physical at all in front of what 60, 70,000 people, whatever number you want to believe, and doing it live. Like, I mean, I would hope that I'm still mobile like that at 70, let alone taking a bump.
I think somebody I'd seen somewhere that they had asked him like how he felt about it. He goes, well, did you laugh? Were you entertained? Then hell, it was perfect.
Exactly.
Does it fucking matter? Like, it's yeah, it was a shit stunner. It may be the shittiest stunner of all time.
It's up there.
I mean, we're talking like,
we're talking Donald Trump. We're talking the first stunner. We're talking Sergeant Slaughter.
oh, we're talking Timmy White bad when fucking Austin gives the stunner and Timmy just misses completely.
Yeah. But like I said, overall, it was still Stairway to Heaven. It was just, you know, the radio was in and out a time or two.
Yeah, and again, it's what the crowd needed. It's what the crowd craved. I mean, out of anything that happened that night, they wanted to see Austin stun McMahon, no matter what the cost. That was the thing. And again, we also have to. There were 3 non-wrestlers that had matches, and turned out to be.
So, shout out to Logan Paul. I think that was the Paul brother that was out there.
I think it, yeah.
Shout out to him. We are to be signing them, yes.
You know,
because I think fish done found water.
Yeah. Well, something else that really caught my attention, and I've seen stuff of Pat McAfee, and I'm like, this dude gets it. This dude, he had to take the long way to get into pro wrestling, but I think this is where he wanted to be, and how he's conducting himself, and how he's so good for being somebody who's not really a pro wrestler.
There are instances where I point to in the history of wrestling where I say that person was born to do this, but somehow found themselves in another line of work. Yeah. Andy Kaufman.
Yes.
Lawrence Taylor. Yeah. Logan Paul. I can't give Bad Bunny because I still think Bad Bunny is still a better rapper than he is a wrestler. But I think that after last year with him, the bar was set, which sidebar, 2 years in a row, they've given The Miz the celebrity challenge, and he's made it fucking Rembrandt level quality here.
And okay, so that's another little touching point. I hear a lot of people are bitching about them putting Cody Rhodes with Miz, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
After all the work he's done, he deserves a real fucking program.
That's what I mean. Like, Miz is a measuring stick. He is literally, can you go out there and put on a main event quality match with him?
If you can't get over as a babyface working with The Miz, please find the nearest exit, for the love of God. If I started a promotion tomorrow, if I had that Tom Hanks screw you money, if I couldn't get MJF, I would want The Miz.
100%.
The only reason I put MJF in front of Miz is because MJF has a lot more tread on the tires at being a younger wrestler. Both are comparable, but obviously GM mode here. You go with the younger talent where you got the longer, but I digress. The Miz is the best professional wrestler going right now in terms of being able to go out there and get the desired result. And he's been
He
that way
is
for a long time.
he is a Swiss Army knife. You can put him in any sort of role, a comedy role, a serious role, babyface, heel, any of that. He fits it. He takes that dynamic and makes it work with his character, however it works. He's just so good at it. And that's why I feel like when we know there's going to be a celebrity match, Miz is going to be the guy. He's got the star power, he's got the caliber of talent. He can get them through it. And again, from what I saw, bits and pieces, man, Logan Paul went out there and bumped his ass off. I think I saw the video of him hitting a frog splash. He did the fucking Eddie shimmy.
When he started doing the Eddie stuff, I freaking popped for it because I said yes. Because obviously earlier in the match, Ray was going for the Three Amigos and it gets countered and stopped, and then Logan hits him and the crowd ate it up. They started raining those boos. And
Yeah.
I was like, yes. That's it, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
But
I know I'm definitely going to seek out watching that match. I'm going to seek out watching Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Shout out to Papa Ayers for drawing the straw for that one. You know, he had to have had a blast doing that match.
I do know he had a blast doing that match.
I've seen pictures and you could just tell he's like trying to hide the fact that he's like, oh, this is so cool.
Again, mad at him because he didn't get a single prank pulled on him. I mean, Chris Pontius running into a ring is always a prank, but I digress.
Yeah, well, you know, party boy.
I'm just glad it, you know, I'm sure he is too. I'm just glad nothing touched his leg. You know what I mean? Although I must say, it looked a little cold in that ring there. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Was there a steady breeze?
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, got to go back and watch Mae Young and Mark Henry's son have a cameo appearance as well.
Oh, stop. That joke is so freaking dead.
I'm sorry. The fact that Mark Henry put it over, that popped me. I was like, all right, you got me with that one.
Sure. But yeah, overall, back to the ranch. I think I put it out there. There were going to be two noises that you would hear over the weekend that would put everything else that you would see completely out of your mind and on the back burner. One was the Undertaker's gong, and the other was the sound of breaking glass. The second that those two things hit the air, it was go time. And sure enough, it was. I promise that this episode will go shorter than the Undertaker's speech.
Oof.
Look, man, I don't need an hour speech.
Did it really go an hour?
He was out there for an hour. Now, granted, about 10 or 15 of that was the crowd going nuts for him, but I did agree that he needed to go on last. I agree that he needed to be the longest speech, but for my money, it was a prime example as to why you never saw him for more than 15 minutes at a time.
That's fair.
And I love The Undertaker. He is numero uno for me. But I once said I wanted to make a shirt that said I survived the Hillbilly Jim Hall of Fame speech.
Now it's
I might have to throw Undertaker on there too. Take it home.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, you cut Ric Flair off.
Yeah, but I think it would have been sacrilegious for people to cut off Taker on that one. And
Sacrilegious was doing the Satanist gimmick that he did back in the late 90s. That was sacrilegious. Woof.
Well, I mean, that's why I'll get heat on this. My favorite version of The Undertaker is Biker Taker from 2000 to 2002.
It was timely. But I think it overstayed its welcome by about a year. Because people were for original
I would agree
for about a year and a half leading up to it coming back.
Yeah, I agree, because like him coming back at Judgment Day 2000 was great. It it didn't get its stride until the end of 2000 into 2001, and that's the time that I really loved Biker
It
Taker.
caught life, unfortunately, about the time that the towers fell. It
Yep.
was it was perfect for the time.
Yep.
But moving out of that, then obviously, um, it was time to
And
bring back the smoke and mirrors and Paul Bearer and all that fun stuff.
and that's why I said, like, I kind of cut off around 2002 where I enjoyed it, because when he had the heel version of it and he had that ladder match with Jeff Hardy, I still enjoyed that.
I love the
And I
heel
enjoy
version of the American Badass. He was a
Yeah,
bully.
yeah, and I enjoyed it up to the stuff with Lesnar and Cena. But then there was a point where I was like, all right, yeah, this is it's kind of run its course.
There's
And
only so
I
many
agree.
times he can be the wizard, the grizzled Southern, been there, done that guy.
Yeah. And I remember watching WrestleMania 20 with my friends. We went over to their house and ordered pay-per-view, and all sitting White Castles and Mountain Dew, just like we would for like a gaming night. We're all gathered around ready to watch WrestleMania. And I remember watching Taker come back on that. I was like, oh shit.
So I didn't plan on talking about the Undertaker tonight, but we're talking about WrestleMania 20. The outfit that he came out with is different from what became his normal garb outside of when he would do like the special robes, but he had a different hat, and I think the jacket might have stayed the same, but for me that was cooler than what it would default to. And
Yeah.
like there was just something different about the hat that I liked. It was bigger almost. I don't know,
Well,
but
I mean,
it worked.
I could see for that grand stage, you go big or go home. I mean, it was still a combination of, he still had like the Biker Taker look, but he was now dead man.
Yeah, that's kind of what the Undertaker gimmick became. It was a hybrid of everything you'd seen before with some new stuff thrown in as story and age required.
Yeah.
I loved that he started doing that Hell's Gate choke. I loved it.
Yeah.
That thing was cool.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about pro wrestling, is that you can be an established character, go away for a while, come back with something new, something fresh. And yep, it's the same thing with Jericho. Every time he'd go away, he would come back with something new, and everybody would be clamoring for it.
5 more pounds. What? Who said that? Judas in my mind.
That is an amazing thing to hear a crowd sing live. Yeah. I've been fortunate. I heard it when it was in Nashville, which was awesome. It was. I think it's the first wrestling show I paid to go to that I actually enjoyed being at. So, props to AEW for putting on a great product. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Want a job? Wink, wink. What are you staring at?
Nothing. Just have to send a message.
I hope it's not that important.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But anyway, so other than all of the fun and excitement you had down there in the ring, did you get to do anything fun away from the ring?
Didn't really have a lot of time, unfortunately. We tried to hang I say is myself, Shiny Shoes, and Aaron Wade. They were the ones that stayed in my hotel room. We tried to go visit Dealey Plaza, but unfortunately, trying to figure out where things were in Texas, or where in Dallas to go, and navigating traffic and being on a time crunch. Yeah, that was the thing, was finding. Shoes was incredible on finding the places to eat.
Imagine he's a Marine. He can hear food, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, he basically just took a random shot in the dark. He goes, "Hey, let's try this pancake place." I was like, "Sweet." We go try it, and I looked at them. I'm like, all right, we're coming back here like almost every fucking day. Food was incredible. Ate like a champion, and was miserable afterwards. Oh, that was the thing on Sunday, was that we drove all the way to Fort Worth because there was this amazing barbecue place. And I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to this. And it's kind of like a cafeteria style thing. You walk in and the guy's got the grill going. He goes, you want a pound, half a pound? Tell me what you want. And he's sitting there just cutting these big slabs of sirloin and ribs and brisket. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be fucking screwed. Get a giant piece of sirloin, cobbler, all this stuff. Yeah, food. I got wrecked. I think the name of the place was Cooper's. It was a place that Shoes had been to before, and he said it's worth the drive from Dallas into Fort Worth, where we were, to get this food, and then just drive back. And I agree, it was worth it, man. God, I'm thinking about like it was this giant tub of blackberry cobbler, and I put vanilla ice cream on top, and I was a fat kid. I was so glad that I didn't have a show to do, and then 45 minutes later, I'm like, oh well, apparently I'm booked on this show now. I gotta go work miserable. So, yeah, good times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Guess I'm just gonna have to get my ass on a plane next year and go to LA.
That's kind of where I'm like, LA is going to be interesting. And I mean that in the dynamic of where I know where the venue is, because I think we're going to be at the Ukraine Center. It's the place at GC.
They announced it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they had actually announced it, as that was where we were going to be or not. But I know that's where they were last night before last. I don't know what day it is anymore. Saturday night, I know they were there, and it looks like an amazing venue. I really can't wait to be there. But I know that area around LA is just going to be, it's a fucking madhouse on a normal day. Make it WrestleMania weekend, and it's going to be a shit show. And I'm hesitant about going next year. Like, I would hate to miss out because of the traction that we have, and I say that as in GCW, but just the traction in pro wrestling that we're going to have, us in the wrestling business are going to have that weekend. So I don't want to go, but I want to go. It's kind of like now I can also split it because there's a space shuttle out there and I want to go see it. So, I got to make time for me. Plus, I'd like to go swim in the ocean. I have yet to go swim in that ocean and pee in it.
You're doing the Lord's work.
I try. If it's a giant body of water, I want to swim in it, and I'm going to pee in it. Just like, yeah, that's not where I thought you were going with that, sir.
No, just deeply disappointed in you. No, I am putting it on the record. I will be there next year. Working vacation, shall we call it. And I may bring some friends with me, who knows. But outside of that, we've been having some fun. What?
I was gonna say, I'm if I can convince her to get on an airplane, I'd love to have Cassie come see how our fucking lives are during that weekend instead of like hearing about it through voice text and pictures.
Huh. But yeah, working vacation, may bring some friends. Meanwhile, I'm gonna selfishly go into a little bit of personal news and hijack the show because that's my right as the host. Shout out to my brother. My brother Nick signed a national letter of intent in the time between recording this and the last show we did. He's going to go play basketball in college for Governor State University just outside of Chicago. So we're very excited and proud of him. He's worked hard. You know, the kid hasn't stopped bouncing a ball literally since the gym class where he first discovered basketball in third grade. And the miles that he's logged, the states he's gone to, the tournaments he's played in, I could not be prouder of him. And I can't wait to see what comes next for him. So I just want to take a moment and recognize my brother. And I'm proud of you, man. I don't know if you'll actually watch this or not. You're kind of a dick and don't support your brother, but I love you. But anyways, but yeah, so we are celebrating right now in the Zebra family. So yeah, drop a like and a hoot and a holler down below if you're excited for Nick playing basketball in college. I think we've covered it. Oh, no. We have not covered everything. Warrior Wrestling in a couple of weeks.
Oh man, I forgot you get. Oh, yep.
Bendix Arena.
Yeah.
South Bend, Indiana. Get your tickets now.
What's that date? What's the date on it?
April 23rd.
Ooh.
On Fight TV.
Ooh.
There's a Portillo's 10 minutes away. God, I love my job.
I said I'm not booked, Terry.
Yeah.
So funny enough, that actually came up in conversation today was Portillo's.
Of course,
I don't know how. I don't know how. I was at everybody knows I work in security. So one of the places that I was going to for one of my stops today, somebody was talking about, they brought up something about Chicago. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait to go back up there on the loop. And they're like, oh, have you checked out Portillo's? And I'm like, yes, I have. I have had it. Like, I don't know how it fucking segued to that, but I just love the fact that the conversation immediately went to Portillo's.
God bless Portillo's.
God, I want that shake so bad right now. Like, I'm willing to suffer. I'll suffer for like 2 days just to have like 10 minutes of like happiness with that. It's so good.
So
we don't have.
So it's kind of like trying to lose your virginity. You'll suffer for a long time just for about 10 minutes of happiness, and then go right back to suffering.
10 minutes, that's like 8 minutes of cuddle time.
Sir, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
No, sir. If anybody's going to bury me around here, it's going to be me.
Oh, no, I bury you quite often and gleefully, and I will do it again, sir.
God, you and probably 40 people, 40 other people we know.
What?
What'd you call me?
I called you late for dinner. Jesse, I think it's about time that we do the words of wisdom.
What a fucking stellar segue there, sir.
Admit it. You missed me.
Yeah. No, I can't wait to come back up there.
You missed Daddy.
I'm serious. Like, the next time I get booked up that way, either with Warrior or with GC Dub, I definitely want to take an extra day where we can hang out and just do dumb shit.
I do that every day.
Well, I know that.
It's called waking up and going to work.
True fucking. If you knew, I was away from work for 10 days. I was in Dallas for 5, came home. I suffered from a severe sinus infection when I got back and an ear infection. So I missed several days of work. I only went back to work yesterday. In that 10 days, so much shit has fucking happened. I'm like, boy. Yeah, it's I'll explain off the air just because of how fucked up some of the shit is. But yeah, that's
But did you
what is
die?
today? I'm trying to every day.
Keep practicing.
Robbie the Razor says. Yeah. Um, no, in all seriousness, it's been frustrating. I unfortunately had to miss New South this past weekend, and I was really bummed because I was requested specifically to be there for a match, and I was not able to be there, and that kind of hurts. So I'd like to make. I would want to try to make it up to them at some point. You know, obviously on the 23rd because I'm booked, but um, yeah, life sucks sometimes. But you know what else sucks? Safety briefings. Unfortunately, you know, people have added to that population this past weekend. I didn't see anybody get subtracted from the population, as far as I could tell. I
Oh no, is Teddy
counted
Hart
all.
incarcerated currently or what?
Should be. Oh no, he's not.
Well, I mean, then we'll go with no. Nobody has been subtracted.
Also, on that little thing, I'm gonna send you a picture, and you're gonna understand why it's fucking hilarious. Since you brought up the Teddy Hart thing, there's a correlation there with somebody that we don't like. Um, and unfortunately, you know, pro wrestlers can be the reason why a venue is lost and the reason why there has to be a safety briefing on Monday.
All right. So with all that being said, don't stalk your ex on social media using a wrestling school's social media. And this is the crew of Pop Goes the Zebra wishing everybody on earth a good night. And we will see you next time. Don't lie about stalking people on social media.